Hi, this is Natalie. So my overall focus project for this semester was to study the different ways that student demographics like race and economic class, how those correlate to their test scores, particularly in the schools in Carroll County. So that includes Bowden, Mount Zion, Central, Villa Rica, Temple, and Carrollton. I was drawn to the topic because my mom was a middle school teacher. She taught 5th grade at Carrollton, and she always made sure that she gave every single student equal opportunity and was preparing every single student for their future, whether that means the future in high school, college, to take on jobs, different tasks in the community. She wanted to make sure that all students were provided with an equal opportunity in her classroom. I think it's important to me because while the information that I'll be showing you is numbers and statistics, each of those numbers represents a kid, and each of those kids has a future. And I think it's only fair that we work our absolute hardest. We as a school system, as a community, a county, teachers and students, and administration, we work our hardest to make sure that each of those students has an equal opportunity and is best prepared to lead them towards a good future. So this product was a way for me to inform you, my class, or whoever else ends up watching this, a few examples of the ways that student demographics can correlate to test scores. So a few patterns, like if a certain race does better than another race, that kind of thing. I feel like that's really important because for me to be able to produce more products or to continue studying this, the people, my audience, you have to be informed on what it is so that you can form a biased opinion and know what the problem is. And the only way for me to present you the problem is to show how student demographics lead to what we call the achievement gap. And that's the disparity between students' academic performance and a specific demographic. So I created this type of product because it is informative, because I feel like your audience needs to be informed on the topic that you're talking about. Because while I find this really interesting, it's something that I've liked to look at for a really long time, I know that a lot of you probably don't know this information just off the top of your head. So I felt like it was important for me to be informative. All of my research came from the Georgia Department of Education. They have an online database portal type thing that has access to all of the schools in Carroll County. You can see their grades, their enrollment numbers, graduation rates, that kind of things. So I'm going to start the video now. I hope you enjoy it. Bye. Thank you. This is Carroll County, where I, along with 117,812 other people, live. Carroll County consists of 2 different public school systems, Carroll County School System and Carrollton City School System. To understand my goal with this project, you must first know some vocabulary. The achievement gap is the disparity in academic performance between different groups of students. A demographic is a portion of population all related by some common characteristic. A few examples of demographics are economic class, education level, and race. I intend to inform you of the ways that varying student and teacher demographics correlate to academic success in schools in Carroll County. With this knowledge, schools can increase their communication and work together towards lowering the achievement gap. So, let's take a look at the data. Feel free to pause at any time to further examine the graphs and tables. In the topic of content mastery, Carrollton High School had the highest overall score, and Villa Rica High School had the lowest overall score. However, examining overall scores doesn't tell us much about the correlation between specific student demographics and academic success. To help you better understand an example of this relationship, I'm going to examine how different students of different races performed in a specific subject, language arts. After examining the graphs, you can draw a few conclusions. One thing to acknowledge is while Black students had the lowest scores in all 6 schools, they also were the only student demographic to meet their target score in all 6 schools. This shows that all schools took action and were successful in the attempt to improve their scores for Black students from the previous year. With the exception of Mount Zion, each school had a student demographic that failed to meet the target score for language arts. My hope is that furthering communication between the county schools will help to lower the achievement gap between all student demographics. For example, multiracial students at Carrollton had scores that greatly exceeded their target scores. On the other hand, multicultural students at Villa Rica had scores that fell just short of the target score. With an increase in communications among teachers in the county, schools could further progress in the goal of lowering the achievement gap both between schools and within them. I hope that this video helped to inform you on what the achievement gap is and presented examples of how it is present in Carroll County. Thanks for watching!